Hi, this video journal is going to be about the natural modes that we did for our self-evaluations in 545. And I reflected on this in my self-reflection that's also posted on the wiki. And I said that it was probably the most meaningful exercise that I completed, and I learned a lot about myself. And I don't know, in the intentional relationship book that we have for this class, each of the modes, it talks about some of the cautions that go along with working in that particular mode, and that was really good for me to read about all of them, actually, because they're all really, positive words that you would want to do. You want to collaborate and encourage and empathize and advocate. But you have to be aware, and you have to have awareness of this situation in order to choose, which mode are you going to be working in, and how will some people interpret the way that you're working. So anyways, I'm kind of excited to talk about this one. I have my natural modes scoring key here. It's also posted on the wiki. And just to go over what my percentages were, advocating and instructing are both 6%. Those were the lowest ones that I had. And advocating is a really uncomfortable role for me right now. I think because I'm still a little bit unsure of, I'm still unsure of my role in certain situations on placement, and just haven't used the knowledge that I've learned in school enough to be super confident about it. But it's something that I'm practicing when I'm on placement. And instructing, I was a little bit surprised that it was so low. I consider myself a leader, and I enjoy teaching, but it's probably not the first thing that I do when I work with a client. So that's one of the reasons why I think it's a little bit lower. And again, just need some more practice with that. Empathizing and problem solving were both 18.75%, and that didn't surprise me about problem solving at all. That was pretty much where I thought I would be. Empathizing, I was a little bit surprised, because I think that I'm always empathizing with people, but based on this, I don't think that's obviously not the first thing that I do when faced with a situation with a client. And it's not always warranted right away. Sometimes that comes out as your relationship with your client progresses. But I guess it's a little bit of a caution to me that when I think that I'm empathizing with someone, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not. So just being aware of that, and working on empathizing when it's definitely appropriate to do so with a client. And then encouraging was 31.25%. And that was kind of what I expected it to be. And collaborating was 43.75%. So that was my strongest mode, I guess you could say. And in class, we did a role play based on our natural modes, and I was with all of the collaborators, and it was a lot of fun. We had a great time, but I also felt comfortable in being a collaborator, and I think that's one of the reasons why it comes out so strongly for me, is because I do enjoy working with people, and I like talking my ideas out and bouncing ideas off people. And to some extent, it's kind of hard to say, but I like shared responsibility. I find comfort when I'm not the only one that has to make the decision. If someone else is backing me up, or coming up with the idea and I'm going along with it, or we're in it together kind of thing. As much as I'm independent and need to be doing things on my own, when it comes to big decisions, I like to have support. And that's something that I think I need to work on, especially, going to be like coming up as I become an entry-level professional, you know, you have to be confident and strong in your opinions and in your decisions about treatment and therapy for a client. So, and that's one of the cautions. Sorry, I'm just going to look at my book here. And it says, collaboration may result in diffusion of responsibility or uncertainty regarding who is responsible for which part of the therapy process. And that diffusion of responsibility, that's kind of what hit home for me, was that, you know, perhaps it's collaborating with a client, perhaps it's collaborating with another professional, but you know, sometimes it's really important that I take the responsibility, especially because it says some clients aren't comfortable being a part of that process. That's not what they grew up with. They don't, you know, they're not prepared to be part of the decision making about their own treatment. They are ready and willing to trust what the healthcare professionals are going to do. And regardless of whether that's right or wrong, I don't think there is, you know, a correct answer for that. But I need to recognize those situations and be able to be responsible for the treatment that I'm doing, and be able to come up with those ideas on my own as well. And then one of the ones that's kind of interesting, I guess, in terms of cautions, is that I may favor clients who are more willing to take responsibility and assume independence. And I think that is a fair caution if you're a collaborator, because if you naturally feel comfortable, you know, collaborating with your client and you're not getting that from someone, then that can be frustrating, for sure. But I have found in my past fieldwork placements that sometimes it's the more challenging clients who, challenging in different ways, like in this instance, you know, challenging in that they don't have a lot of ability to collaborate with you, or that, you know, they're not able to, or they choose not to. I enjoy working with those clients, and although I guess sometimes I usually try to find a way to collaborate with somebody, so, you know, maybe that caution is definitely worthwhile. That, you know, part of being an OT is that whole top-down, and that we are the experts in what we know in OT, and the clients are the experts in their own experience. And so if those aren't coming together to collaborate, then that still means that I am the expert in occupational therapy in that situation with the resources that I have. So, yeah. And I guess I've had some really positive collaborating experiences on placement with my preceptors. I've had amazing preceptors, and feel very, very fortunate to have the fieldwork experience that I do have. And I've had some really great experiences collaborating with clients. And so maybe that plays into why that's one of my stronger natural modes, is that it's been successful for me, and you tend to default to what works. So, yeah, anyways, I just wanted to talk a little bit about that, and reflect on my natural mode, and also, you know, remind myself that this is a really valuable tool, and, you know, to be aware of the strengths of using a mode and the cautions of using that. And definitely you'll see in my SMART goals, as well as I will see in my future fieldwork, that I reflect on these, and yeah, continue to use them to make me a better practitioner. So, okay, thank you.